Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are diving deep today
That's right.
into Romans 8.3738, more than conquerors. I love this passage.
Yeah.
It is so powerful. And we've got this devotional here that's really unpacking it in some pretty cool ways. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah.
What I really want us to kind of zero in on is how do we actually live out this victory in Christ and this incredible, unshakable love that God has for us? Like, how does that play out in our everyday lives?
Yeah, it's interesting because, it says more than conquerors. It doesn't say, we're barely surviving.
Right.
It's like we're thriving,
Yeah. So it's not just like scraping by. It's about really like living in this victory.
Right.
But how do you even begin to do that? Like when you're facing some crazy deadline at work or, your family's driving you nuts, what does that even look like?
Well, that's the thing. It's like we can't do it on our own. It's recognizing that we need him, and we need his strength. And I think, haven't you had those moments where you've just felt completely overwhelmed and then somehow like a peace just washes over you and you're like, how is this even possible?
Oh, yeah. Like a million times.
It's like that's a little glimpse of his victory right there.
Oh, absolutely. I've had so many of those moments where it's like, how am I not like completely freaking out right now?
Right.
And I think that is a little taste of it.
Yeah.
And, speaking of peace in the middle of like crazy storms, one thing this devotional really hits on is this idea of God's love being unbreakable.
Oh, yeah.
It uses this powerful image of an unbreakable chain, kind of holding us close no matter what we're going through.
Yeah, and it's cool because if you look at Romans 8.38, it literally lists out all the stuff that can't separate us from his love. Death, life, angels, demons, the present, the future, powers. I mean, you name it. It even says height and depth, which to me, I always think about it like, can we hide from God's love? Can we like get so high or so low that he can't reach us? And the answer is no. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. He's got us.
It's pretty wild. So like angels, demons, bills.
Yep.
Nothing.
Nothing.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And it's reassuring.
It is. And I think what's really neat is that the deeper dive section, which pulls from 2 Corinthians 4.8-10, kind of echoes that same feeling of resilience.
Okay.
It talks about being hard-pressed on every side but not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. And so, like you said, we're struck down but not destroyed. We might go through things, but God's still holding us.
Yeah, and I think that ties in really well with this whole more than conquerors idea.
Yeah.
So like if we're holding on to this truth, if we're really letting it sink in, how should it change the way we live? It's not like we're walking around thinking we're invincible. It's not about that, right?
Yeah. No, not at all. It's more like, you have this quiet confidence that whatever comes your way, he's got your back. I keep thinking about that 2 Corinthians verse. Like, yeah, we might get knocked down, but we get back up again. We're not staying down.
Right. So how do we actually put this into practice? Like when you're facing that impossible deadline at work or dealing with family drama, what does it actually look like to live as more than a conqueror? What do you do?
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And for me, it's about shifting my perspective. Instead of getting all caught up in the problem, I try to remember, okay, wait a minute. I belong to him. He's fighting my battles. It's like making that choice to believe that no matter what happens, his love is there. His strength is there.
Yeah, you're right. It is a choice.
It is.
It's like every day, every moment we're choosing. Are we going to let fear win or are we going to stand firm in who we are, in Christ? It's tough, though, because sometimes, even when we know all this stuff, we still feel defeated.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think that's the big question. Yeah. If we really are more than conquerors, why do we still struggle?
Right.
And I think, a lot of it comes down to those lies we tell ourselves.
Yeah.
Those voices in our head saying, you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not loved enough. It's about recognizing those lies and then, combating them with truth.
Yes. It's that inner battle, right?
Yeah.
So if nothing can separate us from his love, what's stopping us from living in that victory?
Yeah.
What's holding us back from having that unshakable confidence? What do you think?
It's something to think about for sure. It's like a constant journey, We're always letting go of those things that are holding us back and stepping into that freedom.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. Well, hey, listeners, that's something I really want you to chew on this week. If nothing can separate us from God's love, what is stopping you? What is holding you back from living like the more than a conqueror that you are?
Yeah.
Remember, we're held by his love. We are empowered by him.
Absolutely.
We can live boldly.
You got it.
So go out there and do it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.